If you're like me and love the spooky fall Halloween vibes but want to take it beyond real life and bring those vibes into Azeroth, then you're in for a treat. In this video, I'm going to share 31 spooky fall Halloween things to do in World of Warcraft. One of the first places that came to mind when I started planning this video is the Solliden Farmstead in Western Tirisfal Glades. Pumpkins are peak Halloween, and it couldn't get any better with the eerie, foggy green sky of Tirisfal Glades. If you want to take the immersion a step further, you can also pick up the quest Fields of Grief from the Colston estate nearby. This quest will have you steal 10 of the pumpkins so you can feel like you're actually picking them. To really set the vibe, we've gotta do a Halloween-inspired transmog and visit the barber shop. Here's the makeover I gave my Shadow Priest. Be as creative as you want with this part. Think of things like vampires, necromancers, witches, dark colors, or orange and purple, etc. Speaking of transmog, if you haven't picked up the Ragged Harvest Golem set from the trading post yet, make sure you do that. And you can check out some of these other spooky items too. There wasn't too many good things this year, but definitely visiting the trading post for the month of October or completing the monthly traveler's log is a must for the Halloween season. So we've got our spooky transmog down, now we need a spooky mount to match. Go for something like a bat, rat, spider, something demonic, a skeletal dragon or horse, or if you've got it, the Headless Horseman's mount. Another option is Eve's Ghastly Rider, which you can buy now until November 5th, but unfortunately you have to pay real money for it unless you were lucky enough to have gotten it during last October's trading post for free. Now, this one isn't actually in World of Warcraft unless you're in certain zones, but we want the vibe going at all times, so let's set the mood by putting on some WoW Halloween ambient music. Go on YouTube and search for Duskwood music, Tirisfal Glades, Undercity, Revendreth, or for the perfect mix of every spooky zone, World of Warcraft just recently released this Chilling Sounds of Azeroth. Keep any of this music playing at all times in the background during the Halloween season. So far we've been focusing more on spooky vibes, so here's more of an autumn activity. In the zone Azshara, there are some trees that have these beautiful falling red leaves, and overall a very fall scene with lots of brown, orange, and red colors. Spend some time standing beneath the trees watching the leaves fall around your character. Here's another perfect fall activity, Dalsons Farm in Western Plaguelands. This will give you the ultimate fall farm experience. It's got everything, a pumpkin patch, an apple orchard, and cornfields. Check out all the sections, sit in a wagon, and just saying it's a lot of fun to run through the corn. There is also a quest nearby called I Ain't Sayin' You a Gourd Digger, and it will have you remove some bad corn, rotten apples, and unhealthy looking pumpkins, which is a really fun way to immerse yourself here. Next, we're heading to Westfall, the perfect zone to soak in all the harvest and autumn vibes. The entire zone is covered in golden fields, rolling farms, and of course the iconic Furlbrow's pumpkin patch. If you love fall colors, this zone is an absolute must visit. The yellow, orange, and brown hues make me feel so warm and cozy every time I visit, and it just screams harvest season. To help us transition back to some more spooky, eerie activities and places, let's get out a spooky companion pet. A classic option would be a black cat, or really any cat, and if you have the feline familiar that you can purchase during Hollow's End, that would be perfect, especially since it gets on a little broom while you're flying. I also love Lucy, who's a ghost cat, but other options would be the creepy crate, sinister squashling, any kind of spider, ghost, or bat. Following up from simply having a spooky companion pet at your side, we've got to do some spooky pet battles. Select 3 pets to put in your battle pet slots, and do some pet battles in a creepy zone like Duskwood for the full haunted backdrop. This was surprisingly more fun and aesthetic than I initially expected, and I even took some time to level up these pets since they were only level 1 when I started. Once I got to around level 5 or 6, I was able to face some foes in Duskwood. Speaking of Duskwood, this is the OG spooky haunted zone of WoW. All of it deserves to be explored. Check out the Worgen, the spider-infested forests, and the town of Darkshire. But specifically, Raven Hill Cemetery is the highlight of the zone. You've got your wrought iron fence, gravestones, cobblestone path, skeletons, and ghouls. I love just hanging out here, but picking up some quests for the area would be the perfect way to spend the day here. And make sure to check out both the crypts that link together with a creepy underground tunnel. Right next to Duskwood is another must-visit zone, Deadwind Pass. I love how eerily gray and desolate everything looks here. The dead trees are perfectly spooky and the hanging bodies just a tad unsettling. I recommend slow riding through the path on a skeletal horse and taking in all the scenery like the ghosts and vultures, and watch out above on the arches for creepy crawly spiders. The highlight of the zone is of course the Karazhan Tower, but before we go inside, make sure to take a moment to check out the Karazhan Graveyard and Crypt. There's some truly scary things down there which I think are no longer accessible, but here's some pictures of what lays beneath. Probably the scariest thing in all of WoW. Now that we've explored Deadwind Pass, it's time to venture inside Karazhan, the ultimate haunted mansion of Azeroth. Inside, you'll find grand staircases, magnificent chandeliers, and royal artworks. Take a moment to watch spectral figures dancing eternally in the grand ballroom or enjoying an endless feast in the banquet hall. There's so much to explore here, from the opera hall to the broken stair to the library and chess room. So be sure to soak in all the eerie details. And if you don't have the Midnight Mount yet, this is the perfect time of year to farm it. Alright, we've been exploring a lot of places, so here's something a little different and easy to do. Change your character's title to something more spooky if you have some titles to pick from. Options might be Sinbreaker, Sin Eater, Of the Nightfall, The Hallowed, Of the Undercity, or Count/Countess. Another fun thing you could do is create an undead character for you to level up throughout the autumn months. You could give them a Halloween-themed name and then just enjoy the process of leveling in the undead starting areas of Tirisfal Glades, Silverpine Forest, and Hillsrad Foothills. This will overall give you the perfect spooky experience and create a lot of memories along the way. And even better if you have a friend you could level with. If undead or horde in general isn't your thing, creating a Worgen is another option to embrace those werewolf vibes. I've actually never created or played a Worgen myself, but I went ahead and did it just for this video and it's been a lot of fun so far. I really love the Gothic Victorian architecture and foggy atmosphere of Gilneas. Overall, if you want to feel like a werewolf for Halloween, Worgen is the way to go. Also, if you make a Worgen, you've got to check out the Crowley Orchard just south of Duskhaven. You aren't able to visit it as any other race since it's only part of the Worgen starting experience as it later becomes submerged underwater. This orchard, to my knowledge, is the only one that's got that dark kind of haunted aesthetic to it while still feeling cozy. I love the lanterns, archways, barrels of apples, and especially this well, not to mention the warm and cozy home right nearby. Going back to the more undead vibes, here's a really fun thing to do. Find a crypt to explore, such as the one in Oggerman Mills in Tirisfal Glades. Make your way inside, kill some undead, take in your surroundings, and then find yourself a nice little coffin to sleep in for a while, or eternally. You can do this on any race, but for full immersion, the way undead characters sleep is perfect for it. Another obvious must-visit spot in Tirisfal Glades is the town of Brill. This is probably the spookiest Halloween vibes town in all of WoW. There's a bunch of haunted-looking buildings, bat mounts, skeletal horses, and of course tons of undead NPCs. Not only is the town itself amazing, but right nearby is this incredible graveyard with so many gravestones, a dead haunted tree, and even a crypt with a usable door. Definitely spend some time exploring Brill and check out all the insides of buildings like bubbling potions and cauldrons, candles, cobwebbed bookshelves, and spooky paintings. Alright, I've got one more place to cover for now in Tirisfal Glades, and that is Scarlet Monastery. I think the cathedral looks so spooky because of the dark, foggy atmosphere of Tirisfal Glades, and on your way up, you've got some dead bodies hanging on trees again. In terms of going into the dungeon wings, for this time of year, old school SM Graveyard is the best. You'll need the Scarlet Key to revert back to the classic pre-Mists of Pandaria version, which I have a video about here. Then head on into the graveyard and enjoy. I absolutely love it in here, and this version is nice because you can actually access the crypt, unlike in the new version. So feel free to sleep in a coffin here too. By the way, I highly recommend taking some screenshots during your spooky Halloween adventures in WoW. Or if you've got the selfie camera, selfies are fun too. There are so many things on this list that are worth capturing, so if you do take any, come join my Discord and share them in the screenshots channel. I'd love to see your spooky adventures, transmog, mount, and companion of choice for the season. Another must-explore zone is the Ghostlands. This is one of my favorite places. The name is perfect, and it's just really cool to see high elven architecture in such a dark, ruined state with vines crawling up the buildings. I love all the dead white trees with glowing green lights, and there's no shortage of spiders, gargoyles, bats, and ghosts here. And of course, the Dead Scar and the Lingering Scourge is one of the highlights of the zone. Come to Ghostlands to simply explore or level a Blood Elf through the entire zone. If you decide to quest in the Ghostlands, make sure to visit Windrunner Spire and kill fallen rangers and Deathholm acolytes until you get the Lady's Necklace, which starts a quest. I'm sure many of you have done this quest before, but it's always worth repeating in my opinion. The quest will lead you to the Undercity to turn the necklace into Sylvanas Windrunner. Then she and her banshees will sing the Lament of the Highborn for you, which is truly mesmerizing. This is such an iconic moment in WoW, and the song is so beautifully chilling, so sit and take it all in. What would this list be without exploring the Undercity, home to the Forsaken and our Dark Queen, Lady Sylvanas? The Undercity nails that hauntingly beautiful gothic atmosphere. The decor features skulls, drapes, lanterns, spooky signs, and sickly green blight canals. It feels like a royal aesthetic dungeon, but also a sewer, and just overall creepy. Like there's some really weird stuff in here. And if we go below the Apothecarium, you'll find some pretty horrifying experiments happening. We're talking limbs and body parts hanging on meat hooks, and humans just waiting to be the next unfortunate test subject. On a lighter, more festive note, something perfect to do during this time of year is visiting the Dark Moon Fair. It happens once a month starting on the first Sunday or Monday, so check your calendars. The eerie carnival atmosphere is ideal for Halloween vibes with creepy tents, colorful lights, fireworks, and mysterious vendors. You can collect tickets, ride the roller coaster and carousel, and explore the haunted woods surrounding the fairgrounds. Earlier in the video, we explored Karazhan, the ultimate haunted mansion of WoW, but now let's dive into something even more classic, a proper haunted house. Presenting Waycrest Manor in Drustvar. The walk up to the manor is impressive enough, but as soon as you step inside the grand foyer, the atmosphere completely surrounds you. It's the perfect haunted house aesthetic, dark, foreboding, with that sense of something watching you. I loved slowly wandering through the house and admiring all the details, ancient furniture, and the unsettling portraits on the walls. And also one of my favorite things here that really just bring it over the top Halloween vibes is the three witch sisters, which are the definition of classic ugly old hag energy. Another must-visit dungeon is Scholomance, a school of necromancy and dark magic hidden within the crypts of an island in Western Plaguelands. If you're looking to join the Cult of the Damned, you've come to the right place. Scholomance is one of my favorite dungeons aesthetically, with its eerie purple and red tones and dark gothic decor, giving off serious Dracula Castle vibes. In fact, Scholomance draws inspiration from Transylvanian legends, making it the perfect spooky destination. Class is in session. Following those Transylvanian Dracula vibes, let's go full vampire mode and head to Revendreth in the Shadowlands. This gothic realm is ruled by the vampiric Venthyr Covenant, founded by Sire Denathrius himself. Revendreth is where souls are sent to atone for their sins through torment and redemption, and the Venthyr feed off your pride. Honestly, this zone is perfect, and the music, I could gush about it forever, but in short, it's a vampire lover's dream. And the crown jewel of it all is Castle Nathria, Sire Denathrius' lair. Definitely a raid worth running with some friends. You want to know what makes everything on this list even better? Doing them with friends. I'm usually a solo player, but the other day I spontaneously rounded up a few people from my Discord for some Halloween themed fun. Everyone got in the spirit, putting on spooky transmogs and riding creepy mounts, and then we essentially paraded around to a few haunted locations like Waycrest Manor, Duskwood, Deadwind Pass, Karazhan, and we even went to Revendreth and ran the Castle Nathria raid. We ended up getting some awesome screenshots and footage, and I'm so happy to have this recorded and that I was able to include some of my community in the video. I'll definitely have to do something like this again in the future and actually plan for it because I'd love to have more people next time, so stay tuned and join my Discord for updates. I'm thinking maybe the Saturday after Halloween, November 2nd, but we'll see. But basically what I'm saying is if you've got some friends or a guild to share these Halloween adventures with, I really encourage it. We are almost at the end of the list, and I'm sure you're wondering why I haven't mentioned any Hollow's End holiday stuff. Well, that's because I wanted this list to mostly be things you can do anytime with no restrictions, and besides, during the making of this video, which has taken me a few weeks, Hollow's End isn't live yet on retail, but I found out it is live on Classic WoW, so I had to throw in some actual WoW Hollow's End spirit. Go trick-or-treating at inns across Azeroth, bob for apples, eat candy till you throw up, appreciate the decor and jack-o'-lanterns, and my favorite of all time, the Wickerman's Festival. Listening to Sylvanas give her speech is next level iconic. And finally, number 31, Kill the Headless Horseman. This is the peak of WoW Halloween. The Headless Horseman is basically the poster icon of Hallow's End. He haunts towns across Azeroth, setting buildings ablaze, and it's up to you to stop him. So queue up, take him down, grab your loot-filled pumpkin, and if you're lucky, you might just score the Headless Horseman's reins. Now that would be the ultimate Halloween treat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my spooky fall-themed Halloween video. Let me know what your favorite moments were in the comments, and don't forget to join my Discord. I'd love to see screenshots of your Halloween adventures. Happy Hollow's End, stay spooky, and may the Dark Lady watch over you.